4 college horror stories. Story 1. It started like any other freshman year. Sarah moved into room 406 of Ashcroft Hall, excited and nervous. Her roommate dropped out 2 days in. No explanation, no warning, just packed up and left in the middle of the night. Sarah didn't mind, until she started waking up at 3:17 a.m. every single night, always at the same time. The hallway outside her room would smell like roses, and there'd be a faint red glow leaking from under the door. She thought she was imagining things until she looked under the bed one morning and found a strand of dark red hair, too long to be hers. One night she woke up to soft knocking on the closet door. Not the front door, the closet. 3 knocks, then silence, and when she turned the lights on, there were red petals scattered across the floor. Other girls started whispering about a student named Lillian who lived in 406 decades ago. Lillian had a habit of wearing red, and one day she jumped from the 4th floor. They say she still walks the halls, looking for a roommate who won't leave her. Sarah tried ignoring it. She put salt across the windowsill, slept with the lights on, but nothing helped. The red glow got stronger. She started seeing messages in her bathroom mirror, written in condensation even when the room wasn't warm. Messages like, "Stay with me," and "Don't leave like the others." The final straw. Sarah recorded herself sleeping one night. In the video, her eyes opened at exactly 3:17 a.m. She sat up, but she didn't look human. Her mouth opened wide, too wide, and she whispered something in a voice that wasn't hers. "You said you'd stay." Sarah left the dorm 2 weeks later, pale and shaking. But every October, someone requests room 406, and every time, that student drops out before the semester ends. If they even make it that far, and if you're ever assigned room 406, remember one thing: don't answer if someone knocks from the inside. Story 2, the Locked Auditorium. Brandon worked night shift campus security to pay for classes. The building he hated most? The old arts auditorium. It had been locked since a fire 12 years earlier. A student performance gone wrong, they said. But others whispered it was a ritual, something they tried on stage that went too far. But one night, Brandon found the doors slightly open. No signs of forced entry. No alerts on the security system. Curious, he stepped inside. Dust, silence, ash-covered seats, but the stage lights flicked on by themselves. A piano began playing, something soft, familiar. It was the same song from his childhood music box. He called out, but no one answered. Then he saw her. A girl in a singed ballet dress dancing slowly, gracefully, but her feet never touched the floor. They hovered just above the wood. He stepped forward. She stopped, looked at him. Her face was half burned, eyes pitch black, mouth slightly open, like she was still screaming. The curtains behind her moved, but there was no wind, and he heard voices, low, chanting. Brandon turned to run, but the door was gone. Only a wall of mirrors reflecting infinite versions of him, each with something behind their shoulder. They found him hours later, unconscious on the stage. In his hand was a scorched ballet slipper. On the back of his jacket, someone had written in ash, "Encore." Now the auditorium is sealed again, but sometimes, during storms, people say you can still hear the faint thud of ballet shoes echoing through the walls. Story 3, the invisible student. Mia was a teaching assistant for Professor Dahl's history class. She noticed a student in the back who never spoke, wore a hoodie, always wrote notes, always there, same seat. But when she asked the professor about him, he said, "There is no one by that name in this class." She checked the attendance list, no match, but she found a photo from 5 years ago. Same hoodie, same face, same seat, same empty eyes. The deeper she dug, the more she found. Reports of a student who took their own life in that room during finals. Overworked, isolated, forgotten. Every few years, someone sees him again, watching, listening, taking notes for an exam that already ended. Mia stayed after class one day to confront him, but when she walked up to the seat, it was empty, just a notebook, and inside, written hundreds of times, one phrase, "I won't fail this time." She flipped to the last page. It was today's date, but she hadn't written it. That night, she dreamed of the classroom, full of students, all silent, all writing the same sentence in perfect unison. And at the front, the boy stood smiling at her, mouth stitched shut. She left the TA job that week, but she still dreams about that classroom. She wakes up to the sound of scratching pens, and once, her own notes had been rewritten overnight, all saying, "I'm still here." And sometimes in that old classroom, a desk creaks, even when no one's sitting there. Story 4. Exam Room 3B. Final exams were always brutal, but in 3B, things were different. Students complained about freezing air, flickering lights, and lost pages. Some said their pens moved on their own. Others left the room crying, refusing to explain why. One girl, Emily, said that her test booklet had no questions, just a single sentence. "Answer carefully, she's watching." Campus IT reviewed the surveillance. There was no footage of the room during the exam, just static, every time. A janitor finally confessed. Years ago, a student with epilepsy collapsed during an exam in 3B. No one noticed. She died before help arrived. Her last written words on the test, "Don't forget me." Now, they say if you sit at her old desk, your answers disappear. And if you try to leave early, the door won't open until time runs out. Emily's final paper returned blank. She swore she had filled it out completely. One night, a professor stayed behind to grade late submissions. When he opened a sealed envelope marked 3B, the paper inside read only, "Help me." He quit the next morning. The desk is still there. Third row, far left, covered in faint scratches, like someone is still writing or trying to claw their way out.